Time for a division matchup. Time for a division game. Titans-Texans, baby. This is in Houston? This is in Houston, right? Oh, boy. You know, I mean, 2-8 Titans coming to town. Texans, I mean, come on. Running away with the division. Let's give the old preview a look-see. Best freaking part of my week right here.
It's Houston versus OG Houston. Titans fans wishing they were more Oiler-like these days.
Let's go!
Texans snapped a 2-game skid, extended their lead in the AFC South to 2 games in doing so.
Great job, man. Hey, proud of you guys. All right, we talked about bouncing back stronger, right? That's a strong comeback right there, all right?
This is round 1 between Houston and Tennessee, and for all the attention C.J. Stroud gets, the Texans' offense is being carried by Joe Mixon this year.
Yeah, you know, I saw somebody bring attention to this on Twitter, and I think it's a good point. Everybody talks about what a mistake it was for the Giants to let Saquon Barkley go. Like, everybody talks about that. Everybody, you know, talks about what a big mistake it was for the Titans to let Derrick Henry go. I've given my thoughts on that. Not enough people talk about what a mistake it was by the Bengals to let Joe Mixon go. Because Joe Mixon is playing football at a very high level for the Houston Texans.
What a season that dude's having. 109 yards last week, 5.5 a run, scored 3 times.
Mixon, a walk-in. Touchdown, Texans.
Mixon has gone for 100-plus yards in 6 of his 8 games played. He's scored in 7 of the 8. Run defense is the one thing Tennessee excels at, though. Held Aaron Jones to 2.6 an attempt.
Dude, the narrator on these videos ain't afraid to throw some shade. The one thing the Titans can do is stop the run. The only thing they're good at.
Brings their yard per carry average given up to running backs to a measly 3.7.
Jones stuffed.
Oh, was that play that they just showed, was that right before the referees robbed? I can't even get into it. I can't.
James Lynch get his big mitts around Jones.
Stopping the run has not led the Titans to stopping offenses. Tennessee easier to score on than Quagmire.
Wait a minute, what was he about to say about Quagmire?
Has not led the Titans to stopping offenses. Tennessee easier to score on than Quagmire at a yoga retreat. 23.
Good one. Giggity. Ow! I think that it is proven, the Tennessee Titans defense proves that although it is good to be able to stop the run, in 2024 that doesn't amount to as much as you'd like it to. I mean, in 2024, if you could stop the run, that's fine, but if you can't stop the pass, it's really not. I mean, teams will just pass on you if they got a quarterback worth of crap.
3+ points allowed in 4 of their last 5. Giggity indeed.
As he hits his man wide open, it's Addison. Addison, touchdown.
Titans secondary C.J. Stroud goes after, got diced up by Sam Darnold to the tune of 240+ yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, a rating over 100.
Darnold, boy, hit on the release and somehow gets it out. Jefferson, just an amazing play by Darnold.
Tennessee's pass rush got home twice versus Minnesota. They averaged 2 a game, which is actually below average this year. Stroud only got sacked once.
They said that play right there. I don't know how well you can see it. They said that was not a fumble. Let's just watch it. You guys probably can't even see it.
They averaged 2 a game, which is actually below average this year.
They called that not a fumble. I literally... Every day I say I'm over the referees and I'm ready to move on with my life, and then I watch something like that and I'm right back where I was.
Stroud only got sacked once last week, faced an average-ish amount of pressure, huge improvement compared to most games. Didn't translate to a great game for Stroud, though. Not that he was needed, but sub-80 rate got picked off. That's 3 straight sub-80 rate games for him.
They pass on the field goal try. Stroud throws, pass picked off.
You know, and I'm being objective. I am a Titans super fan, but I try to remain as unbiased as I possibly can. Houston is absolutely the best team in the division. They're going to win the division. CJ Stroud, obviously the best quarterback in the division. But I absolutely think he's regressed. I don't think so far that he has lived up to the expectations that people had for him after his rookie year. Not to say, now, I already know there's going to be some Texans fan to jump into the comments and be like, you're just a hater. CJ Stroud's the greatest. Y'all should have never left Houston to give us back our uniforms. But I think CJ Stroud is, and I understand. Stephon Diggs towards ACL, that hurts. Nico Collins been in and out of the lineup, that hurts. But I think CJ Stroud, especially for this last month, listen, he's probably going to have a good game on Sunday against us. But, I think that he has definitely not exactly lived up to the expectations people had for him going in, which was that he was going to be an MVP candidate.
Intercepted. That's Hooker.
Now, he still threw for 250-plus yards, and Mixon finishing so often meant he didn't stack a few TD passes in there. He did get Nico Collins back, 46 yards in his return.
That's Nico Collins. Off to the races and down inside the 15.
John Mechie, 33 yards last week. Tight end Dalton Schultz, 33. Tank Dell went for 54.
Tank Dell with a diving catch for 26.
Titan secondary is going to be in a rough spot because Dell and Collins and Schultz and all the weapons that Houston has at their disposal. And then you've got Tennessee without our top two corners that we signed in the offseason. Neither of them have played. Snead hasn't played in over a month. Cheeto Awuzie hasn't played since week 3. I don't even know. I forget he's on the team sometimes. So, it's going to be a tough day for the Titans secondary because Jarvis Brownlee, rookie, Darrell Baker, who was brought in as off of the Colts practice squad. These guys have hung in there, but I just don't. I don't think they're going to bode well on.
And Mixon added 44 receiving yards, back-to-back 44 receiving yard games for him.
Mixon, first down, plus. Still rolling. Flag is down. Mixon tripped up.
Joe and the defense did most of the heavy lifting versus Dallas, the Texans holding them to 10 points. They're 11th in points per game allowed now.
Blitz off the edge. Cowboys pick it up. Pass is picked.
What an
intercepted
awful
by
throw.
Stingley.
Maybe Tennessee's offense is saving their points for later. Saving's supposed to be smart, right? Under 21 points a game, 9 of 10 tries, 13 last week.
It's Levis freed up just enough. Fires point up the seam off the hands of Harrison Smith.
Will Levis does come in off a 295-yard game, though. Most he's put up all year.
Taking a shot. He's got Westbrook-Akine breaking free.
Sure, 98 of them came on one pass, but who's...
Well, but also, Mr. Narrator Man, about at least 75 were taken away by some of the worst penalties I've ever seen. They lost a touchdown either because their right tackle didn't know how to line up properly or because the referees just decided to throw a flag on that play. But I am not, if you've watched the channel for any amount of time, I'm not exactly what you would call a Will Levis defender. I'm not going to come on here and tell you how great he is just because he's with us. I thought Sunday he was good. Against a very aggressive Minnesota defense, blitzing a lot, offensive line, particularly the right tackle, the right side of the line, just destroyed, and so he didn't have a lot of time. I thought he played well. Should have had 350 yards and 2 touchdowns. The interception he had was in desperation time at the end, down by 2 scores with a minute to go, just chunking it up there. I thought Will Levis was good, and I will not tolerate this narrator trying to make it seem like he was not good. I'm not a Levis defender, but in this game, he was good, and that play that he's taught, well, sure, 98 of it came on one play. That was a great throw. That was a great throw on that 98-yard touchdown. So it counts. And the main thing for me is to see whether Levis can continue to build off that, no matter what the Titans' final record is, which I expect will not be good. I expect they will have a top 5 draft pick. But the main thing you want to see from here on is how he can If he can prove himself to be good enough to come back, or if you need to go get somebody else.
Says he can't do that in every game, aside from history and statistical probabilities. And the Houston Texans secondary, of course, that held Cooper Rush to a sub-80 rate last week.
But I agree with him, though. I agree with him because I told any Titans fan that would listen, hey, yes, Will Levis has been better the last couple of weeks, but I ain't forgotten about that Chicago flick six. I ain't forgotten about that Jets game where he threw it backwards. I ain't forgotten about all the pick sixes and all of the missed throws. And this was, even though he was good Sunday, it was not perfect. So, I mean, yes, maybe he's going to turn the corner and we're going to see him continuously play better, but I'm still skeptical.
Only one touchdown picked him off. They're now third in rate for 2024.
Derek Stingley, he's an impressive young corner in this league.
Texans DBs get Nick Westbrook-Akine. He had 30 more receiving yards on top of the 98-yard house call.
What a pass.
I used to laugh at whenever they would talk about Nick Westbrook-Akine, but he's turned into a pretty good receiver for the Titans.
Westbrook-Akine.
Calvin Ridley, their number one, 55-plus yards in 4 straight games, 58 last week.
Third down pass near side on a comebacker. It is caught. Calvin Ridley.
Tyler Boyd, 34 yards. Bryce Oliver, 33. Levis, 5 sacks taken last week. Forget Mayo. Dr. Greenthumb should ask him to be their spokesman. Face in the grass 12 times last 2 weeks.
Levis going down. 5th sack for Minnesota.
Texans pass rush comes in off.
Last week against the Chargers, I feel like most of the sacks were on him. This game, I felt like most of the sacks were on the offensive line.
Off a 5-bag shopping trip without Will Anderson, mind you. Danico Autry with 1. He has 3 now. Daniil Hunter came home with 2, up to 7.5 now.
Well, you already know. If the Titans are playing a team that's got a notable former player on it, that player's going to go off. So I'm going to say Danico Autry will have at least 2 sacks on Sunday. Because nobody, like I've said it a million times, nobody likes watching their former players destroy them more than the Titans.
Attempt if he gets it away, and he cannot. And there is Hunter again.
Titans rush attack. Bueller, Pollard. Tony rolls in off a 15-yard extravaganza, 1.7 yards per
Dude, does this guy must be from Houston or something, because he absolutely hates. I'm not going to harp too hard on the Titans' run game because that game against Minnesota was the first game that the run game's been bad all year. The run game for Tennessee offensively has really been good all year until the Minnesota game, so I'm not going to harp too much on that.
So he's fresh.
As they blow them up in the backfield, Pollard never had a chance.
Texans didn't struggle with Dallas's run game, held them to under 4 a carry. Titans and Texans' first clash was in Houston's inaugural season, so it was a pretty big deal, Titans having left the city for Tennessee. David Carr versus Steve McNair. McNair, a couple TD passes. Carr, a couple picks. Tennessee 17-10 winners.
The Titans' victory over the Texans came relatively easy.
Wow. Whoa. 2 people picked the Titans. Why do y'all keep picking? Jeremiah has the Texans 21-17. Wolf has the Texans 24-12. Adam Rank has the Texans 29-9. What a weird score. Grant has the Texans 24-17. Brooks has the Texans 27-16. MJD, this has got to be the most lopsided. MJD has the Texans 30-14. Gordon takes the Titans 26-16. Not only does Gordon think the Titans are going to win, he thinks they're going to win by 2 scores. Shook has the Texans 23-20. Edholm, who has been the most correct of any of these pickers, picks the Titans 24-17. And Petra takes the Texans 30-20. I would love to know what their thought process is in taking the Titans there, because, I mean, it's going to be a tough matchup, but okay. In Houston? Okay. All right. Whatever. Titans-Texans this Sunday. Yay! It's going to be fun.